Good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Welcome to the 201st meeting of the ICG Toastmasters Club. I'm Stuti Tonde, and I'm sure we can all agree that the beginning of any journey is the sweetest part of it. Thus, it is only befitting that we begin by reading the mission statement of our club. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I would also like to mention the ground rules that we will be following during this meeting. Kindly ensure that your cell phones are switched off. In case you've logged in from your cell phone, ensure that it is on silent mode. Kindly mute yourself once you finish speaking. Please ensure that you are in an area with less noise and less disturbance, and one with good internet connection. If you suddenly find yourself logged out during the meeting, please do rejoin. Now, as you all know, this meeting marks the start of a brand new Toastmasters term. And so, I bring to you a brand new segment. The fact of the day. Did you know? As per NASA, ice cream is the most missed item by astronauts in space. This is followed by pizza and then fizzy drinks. With this, we are now ready to begin. Sit back and relax as I now hand over to the immediate past president of our club. Charming, graceful, poised as ever. She's the literal definition of a real-life Disney princess. Her sweet aura can't help but make everyone's heart skip several beats. Toastmaster Neeru, over to you.
You're on mute.
Unmute yourself, Neeru. Neeru, unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Stuti. I like, as you laid the dinner, I would like to compare myself with the ice cream, the sweet one. Thank you so much. And I will not be taking much time today. I will just take you to the journey of the year gone by. Zoom Master, please allow me to share my screen. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. It all started in May 2018, when I joined ICG Toastmasters Club, not knowing that 2 years down the line, I will be the president of the same club. And 3 years down the line, I'll be sitting here in front of you all as a proud immediate past president, taking you all along with me to the journey of the Zoom year 2020-2021. The core team for the year 2020-2021 was a beautiful amalgamation of experience, ideas, innovation, and support. With stalwarts like DTM Umesh, Toastmaster Sharmila, Toastmaster Naveen, Toastmaster Marcy, we did not lack in the field of experience. With Toastmaster Gajanan, Toastmaster Satorio, Toastmaster Vishwaja on board, we had so many nice ideas and innovations. And with the continuous support of our area director, Toastmaster Nigel, let me show you what all we achieved. Our club, ICG Toastmasters, is famous for its fellowship and variety meetings. All the meetings during the year were very different from each other and one better than the other. But I would like to mention few here. We had a painting competition to go with the theme of the meeting, Go Green, in which not only our members, but their families also participated. We had our speakathon, Bollywood style. We celebrated our Diwali together. We had our Christmas party together. And to show our solidarity towards our nation, we had the regional meet in Hindi, Konkani, and Marathi. And not to forget the grand celebration of our milestone meeting, the 200th meeting. Now, there is one meeting which I would like to mention here as the hashtag open air meeting. Boy, we were so happy to see each other after a long time. Believe me, it was like meeting your family after a long period of time. For members learning, we did include educational sessions also in our meetings. We had the Pathways training session by Toastmaster Tanvi, who happened to be the pathway focal for Goa for the year 2019-2020. We had an evaluation training section by none other than a district level winner, DTM Nikhil Salve. We arranged for a new member orientation in Jan 2020 so that our new members get accustomed to our ways of working. We also included one practice session for all those newcomers who were participating in the table topic contest for the first time. The biggest PR activity of the year was launch of our newsletter, ICG Toastmasters Expressions, to which most of our members contributed, showing beating the pandemic Toastmasters style. Thank you to each and every member who contributed to it, and thank you to the newsletter committee who made it possible for the accumulation of all the inputs from the members. And what did we achieve? Here comes the accolades. At Division W conference in November 2020, our VP membership, DTM Umesh, was awarded for maximum retention. Our VP PR, Toastmaster Satorio, was awarded for innovation. Our Toastmaster Sharmila was considered the most valuable Toastmaster, and Toastmaster Marcy as the most enthusiastic Toastmaster. At Division W conference in April 21, our DTM Umesh was area superstar, and Toastmaster Gajanan was acknowledged as rising star. Toastmaster Vishwaja and Toastmaster Marcy both were considered ground zero hero for their contribution to the Goa Toastmaster fraternity. Our achievements at District 98 level. During the Eloquence Main 21, which happens to be District 98 conference, our club was considered as one of the best performing clubs of District 98. And we bagged the Smedley Award, the Talk Up Toastmasters Award, the Pristine Award, the Shining Club Award, the Leading Club Award, and Excellence in Education Award. At personal level also, in District 98, our Toastmaster Gajanan as individual member was acknowledged as Pathway Star, and Toastmaster Vishwaja as secretary of the club was given transparency in administration. And the biggest achievement of the year was our Toastmaster Sharmila representing our club at the district level for ISC contest. For educational goal completions, heading us all are DTM Umesh and Toastmaster Gajanan, who have completed their level 5. Toastmaster Satish completed level 3, Toastmaster Sharmila, Toastmaster Radhakrishnan, Toastmaster Tarak, Toastmaster Satorio, Toastmaster Vishwaja, each completed their level 2s. Level 1 competition were Toastmaster Marcy, Toastmaster Nelly, Toastmaster Pooja, Toastmaster Ryan, Toastmaster Vishal, and Toastmaster Sean. Now, as I told you, it was a Zoom year. And we zoomed in, and within 6 months of our time period, we gained 10 out of 10 DCP points, and we were the first club in District 98 to be acknowledged as President Distinguished Club in December 2020. Now, it was a journey of 1 year, but for me, experience of lifetime. Now our club is in full throttle. And I'm happy to hand it over to the next executive committee for 2021-22, headed by Toastmaster Satorio. I'm sure this executive committee is going to take our club to even higher goals and to higher status. Now, I would like to request our area director, Toastmaster Alvina, to do the honors of inducting the new executive committee for the year 2021-22. Thank you all for lending me your ear. Over to you, Toastmaster Alvina. Thank you.
Well done, Neeru.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Neeru. Wow, that was an amazing presentation, and I'm so proud that now I can be your area director. Without much further ado, because I've been warned about the time, let's start with the installation. A very good evening, members of International Center Goa Toastmasters Club, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's my honor and privilege to induct the new executive committee members of ICG Toastmasters Club. Before I start the induction, I would first like to thank all the outgoing ExCom members led by Toastmaster Neeru for all their hard work and support. Everyone, a big round of applause, reaction buttons, just jam them, you know. Very good, and congratulations. If ICG Club is there today, it's all because of your hard work and your dedication and support. Thank you so much. Moving on, now I would request the Zoom master to spotlight the incoming ExCom members. That is, all the ExCom members, please spotlight them. Zoom master, just confirm once everyone's spotlighted because I can't see the screen.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want me to read out the names and will it help you?
Sartorio, can I spotlight more than 3 members at a time?
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling really excited. Maybe it's because I'm going to be doing the speaking. But you all need to take the oath.
Same here, same here.
Toastmaster, if you could share your camera.
Oh yeah, important.
I can't spotlight.
Switch on your camera.
Yeah, there you go. I think all of them are
I think
here.
everyone's,
Am I
yep,
missing?
everyone's here. There are 7 ExCom members plus the IPP. Yes, done. And me extra. Okay, let's start. My dear ICG ExCom members, it's your collective challenge to make this club strong, supportive club. Now I will ask her to place their hand over their heart as I briefly describe the challenges you must meet and the responsibilities you must fulfill. Yes, feel that beating heart because it is your responsibility now. So first up, we have the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Stuti Gaiktonde. So Toastmaster, yes. Toastmaster Stuti, as the Sergeant at Arms, you are required to arrange the Zoom link and later on the meeting location, maintain club equipment in working condition, and help the president make sure the meeting begins on time. So Toastmaster Stuti, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Stuti. Moving on to the treasurer, Toastmaster Gajanan Desai. As the treasurer, you will keep financial records and prepare the club budget, explain the dues structure to members, collect dues, submit dues promptly on time to Toastmasters International World Headquarters. Toastmaster Gajanan, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Gajanan. Moving on, to the secretary, Toastmaster Nelly Pereira. Toastmaster Nelly, as a secretary, you have to maintain an accurate membership roster and attendance, maintain the minutes of all the meetings and share them with the members promptly. Toastmaster Nelly, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Nelly. Moving on to the public relations, Vice President, Toastmaster Tanya Raidkar. Yeah. Toastmaster Tanya, as the Vice President of Public Relations, you have to use a variety of means to promote the club in the community and or organization. Regularly recognize members' achievements with methods such as announcements, newsletters, emails, posters, whatever the internet has to offer you, you need to make ICG available everywhere. So Toastmaster Tanya, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Tanya.
Thank you.
Moving on to the Moving on to the VP membership, Toastmaster Sharmila. Toastmaster Sharmila, as a VP membership, you will lead the club's membership building efforts to achieve the membership goals. Make sure each guest hears about the benefits of Toastmasters and gets a personal invitation to become a member. And also you will represent the club at area council meetings as well as district meetings. So Toastmaster Sharmila, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I definitely will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Sharmila. I'm confident you will. Moving on to the VP Education, Toastmaster Vishwaja Haldesai. Toastmaster Vishwaja, as the Vice President Education, you have to assure that the club members are aware of the schedule of meeting roles, plan meetings that will assist members in meeting their goals, help them submit their applications for education awards promptly, represent your club at area council meetings as well as district meetings, and as the second highest ranking officer, you will preside over the meetings when the president is absent. Toastmaster Vishwaja, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Vishwaja. I know you will. Full confidence. And now, the president, Toastmaster Sertorio Norona. Toastmaster Sertorio Norona, as the president of ICG Toastmasters Club, you are the chief executive officer, thus you preside all the club meetings and all the meetings of the club executive committee. You will establish a club climate that is supportive, stimulating, and rewarding to its members. Toastmaster Sertorio, you hold the power and authority that your club has given you during your term at the office. I'm confident, truly confident, that you will use it wisely and carefully. So Toastmaster Sertorio, as a member of the ICG Toastmasters Club, as well as its leader, will you work with your executive team and your club members to make ICG Toastmasters Club a President Distinguished Club this year?
I definitely will.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Sertorio. I am confident, once again, truly confident you will. Now I request all the members of ICG Toastmasters Club to keep your hand over your heart, because a club is not just the executive committees, but your own. So everyone, Toastmaster Tanya, can you give me confirmation that everyone's doing it? Because I can't see.
Some of us don't have heart.
Oh no!
Yeah,
need
most
to
of them are.
create one.
Can the others actually switch on their cameras and do it?
Yes, everyone. It will be really nice.
Yeah.
Oh. The time I just opened up and the timer said my time is up. Don't worry, this is it. So Toastmaster, ICG Toastmaster Club members, please place your hand over your heart. Your officers team has just pledged to serve this club to the best of their ability. Do you as members pledge to work together with your executive club members and take this club to great heights? You need all to say yes, I will, or yes, I do.
Yes.
Please say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
we
I
will.
will. Yes.
And with this, I'm done with the installation ceremony. I'm sorry I went over time. You're welcome. And with this, congratulations to the incoming XCOM. Congratulations, ICG Toastmasters Club. This is your leaders. And I hope you all work together. All the best. And now I hand it over to your new president, Toastmaster Sertorio.
Thank you, Alvina.
Welcome.
During my Toastmaster journey, I have seen three presidents at ICG: Toastmaster Luvan, Toastmaster Sharmila, and Toastmaster Neeru. These ladies are the epitome of eloquence and elegance. So, and some of the EXCO members suggested that I should take over as president. I got really nervous. I just didn't have the skills. It was a time of introspection, and I decided to rely on the greatest trait I have: my foolishness. Yes, friends, you heard it right. The greatest trait I have is not my intelligence, not my sense of humor, or my creativity. My foolishness is my greatest trait. I am foolish enough to believe that I can be good at whatever I put my mind in. And let me tell you one thing: my foolishness has never let me down. A good XCOM is an absolute necessity for a successful club. And boy, didn't we have an amazing XCOM last year. Some of my most saccharine moments last year were with the XCOM. But now it's time to move on. And this year's XCOM looks even better. Our IPP. Can the IPP be highlighted with this? Toastmaster Neeru, my mentor, my guide, and my best friend. She has shown amazing leadership skills last year. And I will always continue to learn from my mentor. Next, we have the sweet girl who will always start the meeting on a sweet note. Our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Stuti. I see this girl as a champion in the future. Our Secretary is Toastmaster Nelly. The most compassionate person I've come across in my life. She's also one of the most hardworking and sincere person that I know. She'll definitely keep our records straight. Our finances will be handled by Toastmaster Gajanan.
Toastmaster Gajanan, if you could switch on your camera.
Yeah, he's a little shy, but he needs no introduction. He has been one of the most successful VP education in the district. He has made a very stressful VP ed job look like a breeze. Our money is definitely safe in his hands. Our VP PR for this year is Toastmaster Tani. She is my mentee, but let me tell you, whenever I talk to her, the only question I can ask is, what is that? She has a ton of information, and I gained so much knowledge from her. She is extremely smart and has a deep sense for learning. Next is our VP membership, Toastmaster Sharmila. There are two things in Goa that can't be hidden for a long time. One, the sun, and the second, my love and appreciation for Toastmaster Sharmila. She amazes me with her creativity and energy every single time. I'm sure this year our membership will reach for the stars. Finally, our VP Education, Toastmaster Vishwajan, the original rock star, my partner in crime, and one of the most planned persons that I have met. With this rock star in charge of everything, I'm sure all our meetings will rock. With such an impressive team, we are not only going for the President Distinguished, we are going for the Diamond Award this year. But more than that, we will be concentrating on the real diamonds of the club, our members. Your growth is our priority. This year, we will focus on what makes ICG the best club, one of the best clubs in the district. ICG is ICG because of our mentors. We have the most vibrant and dedicated mentors. This year, we are going to focus a lot on the mentor-mentee relationship. This year will be the year of innovation in the club. One of them being the introduction of a buddy system, where a buddy will help the mentor in his role. One thing for sure, we are not afraid of trying new things. So do keep the ideas rolling, because if it works, we succeed. If it does not, we learn. With this, let me start the meeting. And one of the perks about being a president is that you get to interact with the lovely guests. So let me see. Lloyd, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, good evening, everybody. This is Lloyd. I'm basically a physician by profession, and I live in Kalangut, where I've got my nursing home, a clinic based in Kalangut itself. I always liked interacting with people. Something which I really enjoy is speaking, interacting, and getting things done, I guess. It's been a joy working with Ma'am Sharmila in Sharda Mandir. So I've experience working with her, but it's been always a joy interacting with people and doing things collectively. And today I'm actually joined by my wife, Nadia. She's Dr. Nadia. And you could introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Nadia, Lloyd's wife, a dentist by profession. And it's so nice to be part of this meeting and to join in here after we've been contemplating for many years. So thank you to Ma'am Sharmila for getting us this link. And we hope to enjoy today's meeting and hopefully join in soon. Thank you.
Yeah. If you love interaction, this is the place to be. Next, I can see Monica. Monica, can you unmute and introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. A very big hello to all the Toastmasters. I am Monica Dandekar and I am a teacher in Sharda Mandir School. Ma'am Sharmila Umesh invited me over for this club meeting, and being invited for the club meeting by the principal herself was worrisome as well as flattering for me. So I am a teacher by profession, a loving wife and a doting mother to an adult son by connection. And I am a science graduate, master's in personal management, and a graduate in education, that is B.Ed by qualification. And I am looking forward to learn so much from this platform. It is said that a teacher is forever a student. So one who dares to teach should never cease to learn. And that is what I'm looking forward to. As the club mission says, a supportive and optimistic and a learning environment is provided. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm very thankful to all of you for having me here. And a big thank you, Ma'am Sharmila, to you for giving me this opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Monica. Oh, I see the timer. It just told me that I have shot overtime. So let me get to the business end of the meeting. For this dinner, we only have dessert. And for that, we have a student of dentistry. Oh, I can see all nervous faces. But don't worry. This dentist is only interested in one tooth, your sweet tooth. Presenting the sweet, the beautiful, the glamorous, and the cute Toastmaster Stuti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sartorio. That was so sweet. Okay, so picture this. It's the day of an important exam. Having gathered all your materials, you're ready to dash out through that door. When your mother, a bowl of curd and sugar in her hand, stops you. Beta, eat this. Eating this will bring you good luck for your exam. And with that, she stuffs the spoon of the creamy goodness into your mouth, deaf to your mountain of protest. The tradition of eating something sweet at the start of something new is one that's rooted deep in Indian culture. Its origin goes back to ancient India, when travelers would eat a sweet treat before embarking on their journey. Since then, the custom of eating something sweet at a new beginning has found its way to becoming one of the most beloved customs in every Indian household. Not only are they delicious, but eating sweets has several benefits as well. Sugar gives an instant burst of energy as well as acting as an immediate mood booster. So the next time you need a little pick-me-up, don't hesitate to eat that piece of chocolate. And I know, this is shocking coming from a dental student, right? But as long as you brush your teeth, you should be fine. And worst case scenario, you get a cavity. You know where to find me. But I digress. Now, as you all know, we here at Toastmasters are headed towards the start of a brand new term. Now, had this been an offline meeting, I definitely would have whipped out a batch of my chocolate chip pancakes for all of us to enjoy. Unfortunately, that isn't possible anymore. But fear not, for even this pandemic cannot stop us from starting on a sweet note. So without further ado, good evening, fellow connoisseurs, and welcome to the 201st meeting of the ICG Toastmasters Club. I'm your confectioner of the day, Stuti Gaitonde. And today I've crafted for you a menu of mouth-watering, delectable delights. Our menu consists of a 3-course spread. Each course, though distinct from the other, is bound to enchant your taste buds and leave you wanting for more. First up, we have the Gateau de la Pal, or the prepared sweeties. Our proficient patissiers have meticulously put together their finest creations. Baked within 5 to 7 minutes, peaches aim to create an explosion of flavor and sweetness in your mouth. It's only befitting that an explosion of the palate so powerful be followed by a palate cleanser. What could be more refreshing than a round of table topics? Like a platter of freshly cut fruits, this course manages with its subtle and light flavor to pack a lasting punch. Our final course is a classic. It has the comfort of a mug of hot chocolate on a cold winter day, seasoned with a generous amount of motivation and a dash of constructive feedback. The evaluation segment is the perfect end to our 3-course spread. Now I know our menu for the day has got you all excited to dig in, but we cannot proceed without meeting our proficient co-confectioners who will be assisting me in serving you the dining experience of a lifetime. First up, we have our grammarian, Toastmaster Nelly. She will ensure that all our speeches are garnished with perfect grammar. When I asked Toastmaster Nelly what was the best dessert she'd ever made, she said it was trifle, an English dessert consisting of sponge cake layered with fruit, custard, or jam, and finely topped with whipped cream. Over to you, Toastmaster Nelly.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Stuti. It was really a saccharine introduction, as it reminded me of the good old days. I used to really prepare trifle at birthday parties. And now, since the COVID times, I guess there are no birthday parties. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully to the language usage. I will take note of an improper language and also a good use of quotes, outstanding words, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. So, ta-da! The word of the day is saccharine, which means excessively sweet or sentimental. So an example of the use of the word of the day, I found the ending of this movie far too saccharine. These speakers encouraged to use the word of the day, and I will give my grammarian speech once called upon by the General Evaluator, DTM Umesh. Thank you, Toastmasters, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Stuti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nelly. Next up, we have our timer, Toastmaster Aditi. She shall diligently confirm that all our speeches are baked to perfection well within their time limit. The best dessert Toastmaster Aditi has ever eaten is the custard her mother makes for her every time she comes back home from her hostel during vacation. I now call upon Toastmaster Aditi to explain her role. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Stuti, for the beautiful introduction. My mom's custard is one of my favorite desserts, and the list of my favorite dessert is never ending. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. So why not spend each and every second with a pinch of sweetness? Being the timer today, I have the opportunity to time all the saccharine movements of our meeting tonight. As a timer, my duty is to time prepared speeches, table topics, and speech evaluations. I'll do this by using the green, yellow, and red color, respectively, which denotes specific time remaining. The prepared speeches speakers should limit the speech to not more than 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll show the green color. At 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow color. At 7 minutes, I'll show the red color. And you will have 30 seconds grace. The table topic speakers should limit the speech to not more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll show the green color. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow color. And at 2 minutes, I'll show the red color. And you will have 30 seconds grace. The individual evaluation for prepared speeches should last between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show the green color. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow color. And at 3 minutes, I'll show the red color. And you will have 30 seconds grace. And at the end, I will present my timer's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditi. Lastly, we have our counter, Toastmaster Aman. It's his duty to ensure that the sweetness of all our speeches is maintained without being punctuated by any crutch words. Toastmaster Aman's favorite dessert-related memory is of the time he devoured a chocolava cake at his friend's birthday. He enjoyed it so much that he only realized he had gotten it all over his mouth when he reached home after the party. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster to explain his role. Over to you, Toastmaster Aman.
Hello, my name is Aman. Yes, that is exactly what I did quite some time ago when I had seen this really cute girl who I wanted to go and talk to. I walked up to her to introduce myself, and everything that I thought of starting on a sweet note ended up on a bitter note. It didn't really cast the best first impression, did it? Good evening, respected Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Aman Bagli and I am your R counter for today. The purpose of the R counter is to note down words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds like and I will also note down when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker has used these expressions. Now, next time when you walk up to your cute boy or cute girl, you won't end up like me. And I'm sure everything will start on a sweet note. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aman. With this, we are now ready to begin our saccharine gourmet experience. Starting us off, we have our first speaker for the day, Toastmaster Shantanu. His sweet start at Toastmasters was when he attended the Valentine's themed meeting. He was asked who his Valentine was when, being the avid book lover he is, he replied saying his Shantaram novel. I would now like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Vishvesh, to read out the objectives of his speech.
Toastmaster Shantanu is giving his first prepared speech after his icebreaker. And if you all have had the chance to hear his icebreaker, then you'll know why I'm so excited to hear him today. His path is innovative planning, level 1, project 2.1. The purpose of the speech, the purpose of the project for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. His speech title is Life is Beautiful. All the best, Toastmaster Shantanu. Life is Beautiful by Toastmaster Shantanu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishvesh. Toastmaster Shantanu, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, Toastmaster Shantanu.
I know what you all are thinking right now. Seeing me here with a sling in my arm. What a fraud he is. We just saw him a few days back dancing to Toastmaster Gayatri's tunes. Somehow, this boy has already managed to break his arms. Wait, hold on a minute. I know what he's doing. He's using one of those silly props that newly joined Toastmasters use in order to look cool in front of the audience. Gosh, here we go again. We all know that he's yet another youngster proclaiming that he knows everything about life and how we will have to sit patiently waiting for his sermon to get over. Well, let me just put my laptop on mute and have a quick nap until his boring speech gets over. Timer, ping me when he crosses the red card. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Before all of you set your alarms, let me make something clear. This speech titled Life is Beautiful isn't going to be about me ranting on how useless and ungrateful we humans tend to be. Instead, I urge all of you to take a seat back and relax. And hopefully, by the end of the speech, you all might have just changed your opinion about me. Oh, I'll explain what happened to my arm as we go. I remember this incident from when I was in the first standard on the first day of school, all proud and mighty that I had finally conquered the tough and challenging years. That was kindergarten. I remember telling my mom that your son is a changed man. stressing on the word man, and telling her that from now on, you will never hear me complain about school. My first class was Hindi. The teacher was this fierce and forbidding-looking woman whose voice was so deep that I was sure she was going to wake me up. One look at her and I ran away from class all the way to my mom in the other side of school. I told her that apart from school, they've even made the teachers also scary. And as such, I refused to go back to class. When her next class came, I was all ready to make another escape. When something odd happened, she looked at me and smiled. And that was the kindest smile I've ever seen. And let me tell you, she turned out to be the sweetest and most compassionate teacher I have ever known. That was the first instance I had ever misjudged the situation, overthinking about something I had no control of. I'd like to say that that was the last instance I ever misjudged or overthought about something. But as I've so proudly proclaimed, I'm not your average fraud. Many of us are probably on LinkedIn or have in some point in your lives prepared a job resume. Many of you all would have put skills like hardworking, creative, entrepreneurial, even good looking. But if there's one skill that tops my resume, it's overthinking. Something which, like our N95 masks, has always been by my side. I've overthought about even the littlest of things. Toastmaster Stuti's birthday party, I worried myself sick the previous day, wondering if I'd be called up to dance. A teacher shouting at a naughty student, and me thinking I'd be next without even doing anything. As a matter of fact, I have another dying fear that if I didn't put my legs under the blanket, the ghost from a Karan Johar film will drag me down to a life of hell and utter boredom. Overthinking is like that piece of gum on the bottom of your shoe, something which stays with you and refuses to leave by your side. And then, in that fateful day of my accident, I was on my bike on my way back from playing basketball when I toppled off like Humpty Dumpty on the middle of the road. The pain in my arm was so unbearable that I convinced myself that for the rest of my life, I'd be living with just one arm. I had lost an arm and there was nothing anyone could do about it. I think it's safe to say that I didn't lose an arm that day. My mind sure, but definitely not my arm. I had a rod inserted near my right clavicule, and the doc said I'll be playing cricket in no time. That was the extent of my accident. The accident happened almost 6 months back. Then, why am I here with this clingy friend of mine reliving those helpless moments? Well, there's a simple answer to that, my dear friends. Something which I failed to understand back then, and which took me until now to fully grasp and understand. When I fell off that bike, I already had a sling attached to me. A sling that had been with me all my life. That very sling that told me that exams are intimidating, that birthday parties are a nightmare, and that you are useless. That sling was not on my arm, it was on my mind. Something which no doctor out there could remove. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge all of you out there to get rid of these imaginary slings off your mind. Learn to take a break. Learn to seize the moment. Never back down when a scary situation arises. Instead, tell your brain that you can do it and you will do it. Albert Camus once said, if you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your troubles, you wouldn't be able to sit for a month. Now take a moment and let that sink in. I'll go drop this in the dustbin to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shantanu. That was indeed a very delectable speech. In case you were wondering, he did get called to dance at my birthday party. And guess what? He rocked the dance floor. No wonder he won Most Enthusiastic Dancer for the last meeting. I would now like to request all our connoisseurs to give their individual feedback to our speaker in the chat box below. We can now move on to our second speaker for the day, Toastmaster Vishal. Toastmaster Vishal's sweet start at Toastmasters was with one goal: to conquer the butterflies. Little did he know that along the way, he'd make many amazing friends who'd end up becoming his biggest motivators. Toastmaster Vishal says that there couldn't be a sweeter start than this. For the best part of this saccharine experience is that it doesn't add any extra pounds to the waistline. I would now like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Gajanan, to read out the objectives of his speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Stuti. Welcome back, Vishal. Good to see you after a long time. We're doing one of my favorite projects of the pathways, that is understanding your communication style. There are three basic objectives of this project. Number one is understand different communication style and identify your style. And last objective is share the impact of your communication style on the other people. All the best, Vishal. Hope to see a great speech from you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gajanan and Stuti, for the lovely introduction. Good evening, everyone. Several years ago, I heard of an interesting idea. The idea goes by the name of the 6 degrees of separation. It's this notion that two people anywhere in the world are separated from each other by only 6 intermediate social connections. In fact, a maximum of 6 intermediate social connections. Now think about that for a minute. It means that I, a relatively unknown entity sitting here in Goa, trying to get better at public speaking, is connected to Barack Obama, perhaps one of the best and arguably the best public speakers of modern times. Now, while that seems reasonable and that I need to only find 6 intermediate connections before he and I have a chance of sitting in his backyard, sipping coffee and discussing world events, it seemed like a frivolous idea. By the way, I did entertain the thought of Michelle and Barack babysitting my kids while on the side giving me coaching on public speaking. I dismissed it very early on and brushed it under the carpet. It didn't seem practical enough. It seemed absurd. It seemed like a figment of someone's imagination. And I didn't give it much of a thought back then. Until 2 weeks back, I was with a friend sipping coffee and having a very scintillating conversation. We talked about a wide range of topics before landing on the Cuban Revolution and 2 of its most iconic mascots, Che Guevara and Fidel Castro. It was then that I learned that an ex-journalist at the magazine Newsweek and someone who's had a chance to interact with Fidel Castro several times and also interview him lives in our apartment complex, right next door. The 6 degrees of separation didn't seem as absurd as I had made it out to be. Now think of the infinite possibilities. It means that we can connect with, learn from, and exchange ideas with practically anyone in the world. It means that perhaps we can have Bill Gates come in and share ideas of how to build the next Microsoft. Or more practically so, maybe it'll just help us to connect with someone for that next big career opportunity or business idea. But the only thing that we'll have to master is the art of communicating and persuading. But isn't that easy enough? Honeybees communicate with each other in a manner that they allow natural ecosystems to flourish. Us being right at the top of the food chain and having bragging rights about being the most intelligent of all creatures, this should be easy, a walk in the park. But is that really the case? Answer these questions. Why is it that the combined defense expenditure of all countries in the world is in excess of $2 trillion every annum and growing, with countries and communities fortifying themselves against threats, both real as well as perceived? Why is it that more closer to home, we see so many broken families, people who have shared homes and food together, battling it out in court while choking our justice systems? Aren't these adequate signs that communication is broken? Aren't these signs that in our attempt to improve our vocabulary and improve our language, we seem to have forgotten the subtle difference between being able to speak and being able to communicate? Because communication begins and ends with connection. It's that invisible bridge that ties two hearts in unison. It's that same invisible bridge that makes two hearts dance a symphony that only two people who have truly loved each other will understand. It's that same bridge that brings goosebumps to us every time we hear the speech at the stroke of the midnight hour. When the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom, because it connects us to the sacrifices of those before us that have afforded us the privilege of being born in a free, independent India. And it's that same connection, by the way, that connects each and every one of us too. And that's the thought that I'd like to leave you with today, is that communication is not about vocabulary. It's not about language. It's about the art of building a deep, meaningful connection with our friends, with our neighbors, with our parents, with our kids, or perhaps just the underprivileged person who asks for help down the street. I truly think and believe that we'd be surprised at where that takes us, both as individuals and as a community. And as for Barack Obama, it so happens that I'm only a single degree of connection, separation away from him. All I now need is that invisible bridge of connection. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for that very delightful speech. I'd now like to request a minute of silence so that all our connoisseurs can give our speaker their individual feedback in the chat box below. Now, before we move on to our second course, I've concocted for all of you a sugary amuse-bouche, a collection of all our go-to desserts I bring to you, my virtual dessert potluck. Bon appetit. Zoom Master, could you please share the Google Drive link that I sent you?
Just give me a minute.
Yes.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Should I start, Stuti?
Yes, start. It has a sound. Should we head to the table topics round, or is there a guest interaction right now?
Timer, is there time?
Oh, actually, we are running 5 minutes late, so.
Okay, I would like to do one thing. Open the polls for the best speaker. So both the speakers have qualified, right?
Yes, both the speakers have qualified.
Okay, I end the poll now.
With this, we are now ready to head to our second course, the table topics round. Prepare yourself for a sizzling round of delectable excitement as I now call upon our table topics master, Toastmaster Gayatri. When I asked Toastmaster Gayatri what dessert resembled her best, she said it was ghevar, because just like ghevar soaks up the sugary syrup, Toastmaster Gayatri soaks in all the positivity from her surroundings. Over to you, Toastmaster Gayatri.
Thank you, Toastmasters Stuti. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the most fun and my most favorite segment of our meeting, the table topic session, which is impromptu speaking. Our theme today is on a sweet note. And we all know we have a very bittersweet kind of a connect with table topics. Just as much as we love it, we also feel our stomachs rumble when we get into the spotlight. For the benefit of our guests, I would like to elaborate this further. In this segment, the speaker would be called upon and given a topic to speak by the table topics master for about 1 to 2 minutes. There is no time given for preparation. Minimum time span is 1 minute and maximum would be 2 minutes 30 seconds. In case of a debate, it is 2 to 3 minutes. Today is our 201st meeting. It's special because it's also our first meeting with a brand new ExCom. It's also very special because we have many first-timers taking over different roles in our committee. Indeed, first times are very special and memorable too. Particularly in Toastmasters, new beginnings and first times are more special because these are the stepping stones into a journey to watch ourselves transform slowly but surely into a person we never thought we could become. On that note, let's get started with our table topics and celebrate our first time. So, could we have, are there any guests or volunteers for table topics?
Gayatri, don't start with guests. Start with Toastmasters first.
Okay. Toastmaster Akshay. Is Toastmaster Akshay there? Okay, anyways.
Hello, have you called me? Hello,
Okay,
have you called me?
Yes.
The thing is, your voice is very low. Your voice is very low. So could you? Yes, I can. Yeah, I'm ready. No problem. You can give. Yeah, you. Yeah, but your voice is very soft. Very soft.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah. It's better then. It's better.
Akshay, check your audio also of your device.
Ma'am, I'm okay, ma'am. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Toastmaster. I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly.
Oh, okay, fine. Gayatri, speak a little louder then.
Yes. Toastmaster Akshay, which was, so tell us about your first best friend.
Toastmaster Gayatri, could you put on a chat? Could you chat? Put on a chat. You can message me on a private chat in Zoom, so that I can prepare.
Akshay, the question is, tell us about your first best friend.
Best friend.
Yeah, first best friend.
Okay. My first best friend. Okay, yes. Thank you so much, Satvirio. A friend in need is a friend indeed. That's one of the good idiom, I would say. Friend is a one who help us to improve in our life. And he's very concerned about our life. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'd like to give one example of one of my friend whose name is Omkar. When I met him for the first time in school, he used to be very polite to me. And whenever I used to be very sad, whenever I used to cry, he used to ask me, "Why are you crying, Akshay? Please cheer up." And he was my friend in my high school also. And he used to wait for me till my driver comes. And today he is working in a mechanical company. Now he is a part of a Sesa Goa company. And whoever came across to him, he gives my example. And just a crying example he gives that Akshay was my best friend and I am his first best friend and he's also my first best friend. And what do you mean to say, Toastmaster Gayatri, on this? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. So we'll go on, moving on to the next table topics. Next table topics is...
Gayatri, you can call Toastmaster Aarti. She's our new member.
Okay. So Toastmaster Aarti, she's also a role player today, right?
No, she's not.
Okay, okay. So Toastmaster, so can we call a guest along with her? Any guests?
Yes, no. Yeah.
Monica? Hello. Is
Yes,
Monica
Gayatri.
there?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yes. And Toastmaster Aarti. So the topic for you both is first time are special. It's a debate. So yes, they are special or no, they aren't special. Over to you, Toastmaster Aarti and Monica.
Well, I feel the first times are always special. For me, because I belong to a small place in Madhya Pradesh called as Devas, I really didn't have a very open environment. So when I got married and came to Goa, that was the actual time when I really started experiencing all the first times. For me, meeting my husband, yes, a first person that I had met, he was the first boy that I met and I married him. So it was really special. I had the same feeling which I am having now. There were butterflies in my stomach. First time I'm speaking here in Toastmasters and it's giving me the same feeling. I can relate to it. First time when I became mother, yes, it was special. It was the best moment of my life. First time when I heard the cry of my son, I think that was the best music that I had heard in all my life. And first time when I entered Shada Mandir, yes, that was a very special moment for me. So first times, yes, always they are special. You can remember them always. You can cherish those first time memories forever. So for me, yes, first times are special. And you can make them more special by repeating the same experience again and again, except that marriage one. Thank you so much.
Yes, Monica, I agree. And thank you for specifying the fact that, yes, one marriage is a lot to deal with. And I think we're all happy with that. But the first times can also come from the multiple times that we've had earlier. It's all about the sense of realization. For instance, very, very beautifully said that, you met the first man who turned out to be your husband. But it's amazing that it's the realization that made it the first time, which means so much. So all the experiences that you talk about have happened umpteen number of times. I mean, apart from one and two here and there, but it's the realization that makes it so special and makes it the first, right? Like the first best friend. I mean, you all had friends, but the realization of being able to connect, to be able to have no guards up and to just be yourself is when the bell rings and you feel that, oh yes, that's the one. So it's all about the realization, which brings and adds and sprinkles the magic to the first time, making it so wonderful and making it so memorable. So cherishing the saccharine moments of the first times that we've had, each one of us, making it so memorable, making it so special that yes, first time is always going to be such a special and a wonderful part of each one's life.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aarti and Monica. We look to have you in a club.
Thank you.
The next
Toastmaster I'd like to call is Toastmaster Neeru. Toastmaster Neeru, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The topic for you is the first time you gave up. Toastmaster Neeru.
Good evening, everyone, once again. To tell you the truth, there were many times when I tended to give up, but I'm not the one who easily gives up. As you're asking about the first time when I gave up, it was an experience from my childhood. I tried learning riding the bicycle. My friends were helping me and I fell. And I think I have told before that I fell into a ditch. I came out covered with muck. And that was the time when I really gave it up, that I cannot do it. But believe me, that one example has taught me that I should never give up so easily. Because till day, I regret not able to ride a bicycle. Believe me, that was the day when I gave up for the first time, and there has been never a time when I gave up so easily again. There have been many experiences in life which made me feel that I cannot do it. But I followed one advice given by my own mother, that believe in yourself. And I always did that. I always managed to find a way out of any difficult situation. So I have faced many challenges in life. Just now I told you taking up the presidentship was also a challenge, but I found a way, not a way out. And I succeeded in that. So first time was last time when I gave up. That was learning to ride a bicycle. And since then, I have never given up easily. I have always tried to find a way to succeed and to do whatever I believe in. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neeru. Can we have some guests?
I think either Lloyd or Nadia can take over.
Yeah. Lloyd?
Yes.
Yeah. So the topic for you is the first time you felt successful. The first time you felt successful.
I think for me, successful would be not just a one-time moment, but every time I have been able to celebrate being able to achieve something good, not only for myself, but also for my family and people around me. If I try to be selfish and just think about what I have achieved or what I have been successful about, I would think of it as my career. Being able to fulfill a dream of being like my dad, getting into the medical profession, able to help people, especially which brought into realization that I've realized that it was the right thing during the COVID times. There were times when doctors were not available, they were too busy, and we were able to do a teleconsultation all over Goa to people almost unknown to us at absolutely no cost. This was something which I really felt was one of the most successful moments of my life, where I could give more than what I could get. And every such moment would be precious to me, where I can contribute as a person and as a citizen to this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lloyd. So
you can't leave Nadia behind. Nadia has to get another one.
Yeah, Nadia.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. The topic for you is the first time you proposed to someone, or when someone proposed to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you feel the first time someone proposed to you would be a moment you would always cherish. But I think the first time you propose to someone is the time you cherish more, because it brings about a lot of courage, an aspect of courage that you take up for yourself. It goes back to some days, many years ago, eons ago, when I was too young. And that time it was only about looks and maybe dancing skills that interested one. And so you go up to this young lady and say, oh, wow, you look so good and you dance so well. Can we dance together? So that's how was the first proposal, out of the blues, with someone I didn't know, with a stranger, but was so taken up that dancing and beauty went hand in hand. But what was most special is raking up the courage and trying to show my friends all around that yes, I have it and I can go for it whenever I want if I just know what it takes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. And so, timer, do we have more times that we can take up a few more, maybe 1 or 2?
Actually, we are running 7 minutes late, so
okay,
we don't have more.
Yeah. So with this, we come to the end of the table topic session. And thank you to all the guests. It was your first time as speaking in the table topics, but we hope you come back as members and we can have many more table topics. Okay, so over to you, Toastmaster Stuti.
Toastmaster Stuti, if we could all have a picture.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Can everybody switch on their cameras? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we are done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Stuti, can we also
Yes?
have the polls for the table topics?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yes, you will see them now. Okay, we end the poll now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri. Your table topic session definitely left all our taste buds dazzled. We have now reached the end of our fine dining experience. We would now like to begin the evaluation segment, a comforting classic. For this, I would like to call upon our general evaluator for the day, DTM Umesh. DTM Umesh says the dessert that best resembles him is a banana split, because this is a dessert that he has a deep connection with, as it is what he used to share with his father. In the words of Josiah Martin, the magic of new beginnings is truly the most powerful of them all. Our gourmet adventure may have come to its end. However, here at Toastmasters, we're about to begin a brand new term. So here's to another year of sweet and saccharine goodness. This is your confectioner of the day, Stuti Gaitonde, signing off on a sweet note. Over to you, DTM Umesh.
Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. The last segment of any Toastmaster meeting is the most interesting as well as the most serious one, because that is the evaluation segment. Imagine if you were in school and you finished your exams and you were given a certain amount of marks at the end of the year, and you never knew how you had performed, how you have been evaluated by your teacher. But today in Toastmasters and after every Toastmaster meeting, one of the most important segments is the evaluation segment. And I'm the general evaluator of the day. And you will see the entire meeting being evaluated. There are three segments to an evaluation segment, which is one, the speech evaluators, the evaluators who will evaluate the speeches by the two gentlemen who had excellent speeches today. The second segment is that of the role players. The grammarian, the timer, and the R counter will give their reports. And finally, my own evaluation of the entire meeting, whether it was good, whether it could be improved, is what an evaluation segment is about. So I'm going to quickly call upon the first evaluator who is going to evaluate Shantanu's speech, Vishwesh, to come forward and give his evaluation of Shantanu's speech.
Audible? Wow. Is the evaluator allowed to go speechless? Well, Toastmaster Shantanu, you've surely left me lost for words with that beautiful speech. Let me confess, when you spoke about Toastmasters who sneak away during speeches, guilty as charged. But you've made sure that a speech with such a simple title, Life is Beautiful, kept me glued to the chair and not sneak away. Toastmaster Shantanu, your expressions and gestures were so well expressed, I could see how closely you relate to this story, and hence you seemed completely natural in your space. To me, what kept me caught on was your humorous yet original anecdote about your first day at school, and how you connected even that tiny bit of fear to the storyline about your overthinking in life. The use of such an eye-catching prop made sure I stayed through the story to know how you got that sling. But the best part was how you overcame your fear and took off that sling, revealing how you move forward. You might want to challenge yourself with a slight tonal variety or choosing to pause at occasions. Also, try and spend some more time on the moral of the speech instead of the build-up. That being said, your speech has left me with a saccharine smile. You gave your speech with such confidence and stood there with such a posture that portrayed how you've overcome your fear. This small bit is very important about your posture and has been given importance by you. Ending your speech with a strong quote was the icing to the cake. Your comfort levels, speech clarity, and transitions have been a pleasure to watch. Looking forward to more from you.
Thank you so much, Vishesh, for that excellent evaluation. We have our second evaluator, Gajanan, who will evaluate the next speech.
Thank you, DTM Umesh. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. And my speaker, Toastmaster Vishal. Toastmaster Vishal, when I heard about your title, it made me very inquisitive. What is this invisible bridge all about? And you stated it very nicely, that communication is not about the language. It's not about the vocal variety you have. It's all about making connections. Throughout your speech, you painted beautiful pictures of your conversation with Obama, your conversation with Bill Gates. I think this was a very eye-catching thing. Then you also stated, you actually stressed more on the importance of communication. What poor communication causes to an individual, to an country. Okay. Now, what are the great points of your speech? First, I would say that you have this knack of creating pictures. You have this habit of making people dream, making people imagine. I think it's a great skill to have, and you displayed just that. Second thing is you had great voice modulation. It's a sign of a person who knows long mic practice, and that's very eye-catching to me. And thirdly, it's an inspirational speech. So whenever you compare a social speech with an inspirational speech, so inspirational speech always has a highest weightage. Now, what are the things you can improve on? I would say that when I read your objectives, there were 3 objectives of your speech. You stressed more on the importance of communication, but you didn't. This speech was more about interpersonal communication skill. So it should more stress on the different types of communication, impact of your communication. So you could have your personal anecdote. So that was missing. Secondly, you said that you should connect, but what are the different methods? What are your methods of connecting the with the people? That was missing. Secondly, I would say at one point of time, you forgot the speech. I know this old habit of NGOs preparing at the last moment. So I won't much comment on this, and I should I would say that keep this habit, don't change it. This is your style. And last point, I would say that you are a great athlete. So you have an open body. You have an open body posture. You are a great swimmer. So you could have stood and spoken. So that would have created much more impact. Overall, your speech was good. It was inspirational, and love your speech. And come back again and give more speeches and keep on inspiring us. Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Gajanan, for your evaluation. For the benefit of the guests, you must have noticed that our evaluators had a method of evaluation, which we call commend, recommend, and commend again. So we are hardly critical about our speakers. We only motivate them to speak better, use the stage to perform better, to speak better, to give out better speeches, so that not only are the speeches appreciated, but also the content that we get from the speeches leave us with a lasting impression as we normally from a meeting get back home or get back to a drink. So that's how it is at Toastmasters. We commend first, then we give a few recommendations, and finally we end our evaluation with a commend statement, as well as exactly what Gajanan and Vishwesh did. Timer, have both the evaluators qualified?
Yes, both the evaluators have qualified.
And Sartor, can we have the poll for the best evaluator?
No, it will be done all together at the end.
Okay, fine. So we will leave it towards the end. Now I'm coming to the second segment, which is my 3 role players who have listened right through the entire session. And my first role player who's going to submit her report is grammarian Nelly. So Nelly, can we have your report on the grammatical aspect of the meeting?
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator DTM Umesh. The report for the day of the number of counts of the people who have used the word saccharine. TM Aditi has used the word for one time. TMOD Stuti has used the word twice. TM Akshay has used the word once. TM Arti has used the word once. TM Vishwesh has used the word once. Now, regarding the improper usage of words, I guess there was nobody in this meeting room today who has used any word improperly or inappropriately. While the quotes and thoughts and sayings of the day was sling on my arm but not on my head,
Could you keep the person in your pants most responsible for your problems? Brush it under the carpet, thought back then, bragging rights, walking in the park, communication at the building depth. Friend in need is a friend indeed, butterflies in my stomach, fond way up and never give up. So these are the words which were used, and some of the vocabularies which I really would admire and would appreciate the TMOD for, as she was being the grammar Nazi long ago. Dash out, embarking, delectable, excitement, defeating, ranting, chains man, trolled, and I can go on and on, like saccharine, scholastic experience, mascot, absurd, preserved, scald, brushed, icons ago. So yes, there was a couple use of the words which were really eye-taking and eye-catching. And thanks. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nelly, for that exhaustive report. I would now call upon the timer, Aditi, and I must mention Aditi because she is attending this meeting from Nepal, and that always makes me feel so good that we have a Toastmaster from across the borders, and she's also a student of the Christ College in Bangalore. So can we have your report, Aditi?
Yes, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I will now be presenting my timer's report for this sweet evening. The meeting started at sharp 7, right on time. The prepared speech was conducted within 20 minutes. Table topic and evaluation section both were conducted within 15 minutes respectively. For the prepared speeches, the qualified speakers are Toastmaster Shantanu and Toastmaster Vishal, and the respective time taken by them are Toastmaster Shantanu 6 minutes and 33 seconds and Toastmaster Vishal 6 minutes and 45 seconds. For the table topic speeches, the qualified speakers are TM Akshay, TM Aarti, Monica, TM Neeru, Lloyd, and Nadia. For the evaluation section, the qualified evaluators are Toastmaster Vishwesh and Toastmaster Gajanan. Overall, the meeting time is delayed by 4 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aditi. And can I now call upon the R counter to come forward and give the report of the R counter, which is our newest Toastmaster. So Aman, can we have the report from you? Your introduction of the role was very good. One of those innovative introductions to a role that I have seen in my Toastmaster career. So all the best for your report.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Am I audible?
Yes.
Ums and ahs could be a part of a good speech, but they surely are not a part of a confident speech. Good evening once again, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I, Aman Bagli, am back with the reports. Starting with which, Toastmaster Vishal used 1 ah and 1 Toastmaster Gayatri used 3 ahs and 3 ums. Toastmaster Akshay used 2 ums, 2 ahs, and overused the word and 6 times. And Toastmaster Gajanan used 2 ahs. Moving on with which, Toastmaster Shantanu, Toastmaster Stuti, Toastmaster Aarti, Toastmaster Neeru, Toastmaster Aditi, Toastmaster Vishwesh, and DTM Umesh, and not forgetting our guests, Dr. Lloyd and Dr. Nadia, did not use any filler words. And thus, I would love everyone to clap for them. Not only clap for them, but also for yourselves, because in the end, it's all about trying and motivating ourselves to do better. With this, I would love to end my report on a saccharine note. Over to you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aman, for that wonderful report. It was so nice to hear an 18-year-old boy give such a beautiful report. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We must be very open in our applause because he has really taken a lot of effort in preparing this report. I'm going to quickly move on to what I call my report in toto. The entire networking started at 6:40. I joined in with a few other Toastmasters at 6:40. And I was pleasantly surprised to see almost around 20 people being part of the meeting by 7 o'clock. And within 5 minutes of 7, it was 32 members. So we had 32 people attending this meeting. A big round of applause for each one of you for spending your time here at Toastmasters. It's a pleasure having each one of you here, not only the members, but also the guests. I thought the Sergeant at Arms was wonderful today. She brought about an aspect which most Sergeant at Arms don't do. It's about getting your connectivity right at the start of the meeting. Believe me, today, more than anything else, connectivity is going to play an important part of your speech, of the way you perform in front of your camera, and also the fact that your confidence can be shown only through that small space that is there, and connectivity plays an important part. My immediate past president, Neeru, your presentation was crisp. I thought, oh Lord, she's going to take the whole night with her achievements. And believe me, your presentation was really crisp and very nicely put. It sort of brought the whole perspective of the difficult year, the year of the pandemic, which we have turned into success stories. Believe me, some of us and this host of Toastmasters have converted a bad year into a wonderful one. And thank you so much, Neeru, for that excellent presentation. You were wonderful. To my area director, Alvina, you, I thought, stole the show this evening by the way you conducted the induction ceremony. You were confident. It's not only because of the hair that you have that I'm so happy about, but the fact that you did it very well. You presented yourself very well to the entire fraternity of ICG Toastmasters. And you were quite confident about the names and the fact that the roles had. Keep up the good show, and we will see more of you during our meetings. And do attend all our meetings as well. What do I say about our president, Sartor? Sartor was a very shy young man when he joined Toastmasters, and you can see the confidence now. And that's what Toastmasters is all about. We make men out of boys. And Sartor today is the president of the club. Many congratulations, Sartor, for accepting this responsibility. And your first speech was monumental. You sort of congratulated all your friends. You sort of made the right notes, and I'm sure you will succeed because you have got that sense of taking the best out of people. And I'm sure you will have a pleasant journey during 21-22. What do I say about the TMOD? The TMOD is a neighbor of mine. She's a passionate Toastmaster, and I can't believe it that she's just spent around 4 months in this, and you can see the difference. If I'm wearing the silly hat, it's all because of her. Because I thought I have to do something for her, and she insisted that I should get this hat on while I make the general evaluation. You made a theme, you made everybody participate. That is what Toastmasters is all about. We bring out the best in people. We bring out the shyness and make them confident people. I can tell you, to each one of you, when I joined Toastmasters in 2010, I've seen close to around maybe 1,000 Toastmasters, and each one of them have become gems in public speaking. And that is what a club which started in 1924, today is going to complete almost 100 years, is worth the entire effort that we are putting in for being part of that club. So that is why I expect my guests to join in the fun, to join in the entire scheme of things. And it would encourage the young people who are part of this club. And Our TMOD today, Stuti, is a young dentist. She's into her final year of dentistry, and I'm sure she will speak better than she does her job at the dentist table. My role players, Nelly, Aditi, and Aman, did an excellent job. I have already said that. And I must quickly go on to my speakers. Both the speakers were excellent. We had Shantanu, who's a mentee of Vishal. Vishal is his mentor. And Shantanu's speech, though all these days I've seen him practice, I've seen him, I've not heard him, but this was the first time I heard him. Excellent speech, and keep it up, Shantanu. My second speaker, Vishal, I was a bit surprised that Gajanan said that he had not prepared, because he had sent me the speech yesterday, and we spoke about the speech. And I, in fact, I had told Shantanu, look, you have a very good speaker who's going to talk about his experience. So somewhere I need to correct that. Vishal, a wonderful speech. There's a lot of content in your speech which we take back home. There are some concepts which not every time we get across while reading. I thought the message was loud and clear. Maybe you and I can get across to Obama over a drink later this evening. So thank you so much, Vishal. I'll go on to my table topics master, Gayatri. Gayatri was a Toastmasters, was a YMCA Toastmaster way back in 2015-16, and then we pulled her over to the ICG Toastmasters Club. Gayatri had something which is so unique about a table topics role. She picked up very simple topics. I'm most happy when a table topics master gives these simple topics to the speakers. It encourages a speaker to open things that are part experiences and don't really have to think too much or too hard, and they don't have to be embarrassed in speaking what they want to speak. So many congratulations, Gayatri, for presenting the role of a table topics master. It's not very easy. People think it's easy, but I thought you not only had the different topics, but you also picked the right guys. So if you see some of the guests who are going to join in after this meeting, it's also because of you, because you were able to make them speak during their first meeting. The table topic guys, I must congratulate you, especially Akshay. Akshay is always the first one to speak. He volunteers, and our young Toastmaster who was there right through. I must tell you, the table topics session is a success only because of the speakers also. So I thought the session was entirely a very successful one. What do I say about a meeting of this sort? It's a meeting where people enjoy themselves. There's not much to criticize about. We are always motivating, we are encouraging. We like to be part of this entire mood that we create. We had the area director with us, so we should give her a round of applause for being with us, and we hope that she continues. We have some of our senior Toastmasters like Marcy, Naveen, who are there right through the meeting and who will probably go back home saying that, yes, we joined and we have made very good speakers out of our young men and women. So give them a round of applause as well. So the meeting was a highly successful one. Sartor, many congratulations for making this meeting happen. I must congratulate the Zoom master as well. Today, the Zoom master is the most important part, is the most important role that the meeting has. And I must congratulate the Zoom master as well. The timing bit, everything was fine. I thought I must end this with a quote of mine. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. The ICG Toastmasters Club has miles to go before we become the best club in the whole world. And we're going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hand over charge to the president, Sartor, to do the business part of the session.
Thank you, Umesh. And before I start, I would just like to start the poll for today for all the other. You only get 20 seconds, so you have to be quick. Okay. Wow, what a saccharine way to start the first meeting of the year. And DTM Umesh, I would like to specially thank you for one thing. If you didn't join this meeting as a speaker, I would be the elder speaker in the club. So you really saved me there. Wow, there were such young speakers, right from Aman to Shantanu to the TMOD of the day, to the very young Umesh. No, everybody did a fantastic job. And especially Shantanu, you have no idea how much your speech has inspired me. I have so many slings that I have to give up today as a president. So let me just, since we are not well in time, let me quickly go to our guest. We have Area Director, Toastmaster Alvina. Can you give a review of the meeting?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Satario. The meeting, as always, was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Congrats to you and your team. And I wish you all the best for the future. I love the speakers. Your speeches were amazing, like totally different from what I normally hear. So good job to my speaker 1 and speaker 2. And everyone else, you play the roles really well. Keep the job going, keep doing the good work. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sartor.
Thank you, Alvina, and hope to see you a lot more. Next, our guest,
Definitely.
Monica Dandekar. She gave a superb table topic today. Can I have your feedback, Monica? Please, can you?
I thoroughly enjoyed. When Ma'am Sharmila told me to join this meeting today, I couldn't refuse her. And I had different ideas in my mind. I never expected it to be so nice, basically. To see Shantanu speaking was icing on the cake. It was really, really wonderful. The whole pattern, the whole format is very nice. And I look forward to attend more meetings like that. So thank you so much for having me here.
And do join the ICG Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Next, we have the D'Souza couple. Can you unmute and give your experience?
Yeah, I think there is a word which we use in biology called symbiosis. And I think for progress, it's very important to get into a symbiotic relation. And what I've seen today is not only talent coming in from one end, but contribution from every other part of this group towards improving. And that is the best part of it. It reminded me of a good game of cricket. Well, you get good balls coming and suddenly I got a bouncer. I wasn't expecting to be having to be spoken or rather having to speak on the very first day, but there was a bit of a bouncer, but that was a nice, pleasant surprise bouncer. But I think overall, it's a very well organized program and I love the interaction and support from all sides.
Yes, indeed.
Let me tell you, Lloyd, you have hit the bouncer for a sixer.
Yeah.
Over to you, Nadia.
That's really nice, nice feedback to the bouncer. And really, it was something that we should have done a long time ago, but it's never too late. At least we've started on. And it was a beautiful experience. Thank you for the opportunity for doing an ex-tempo kind of thing, because it's something that I always look forward to, and I look forward to learning to do more often. Thank you.
Yeah. You already have the ingredients of a great speaker. Nadia.
Satorio, Satorio, there's another guest who
Yes.
joined in a little late, Ritesh. You
Yeah,
can
Ritesh.
ask him his opinion.
Yes, sir. Ritesh, can you introduce yourself and give your feedback of the meeting? Can you unmute? Yeah, please unmute. Yes, we can hear you.
Can everyone hello?
Yes, go on, Ritesh.
Yeah. I was watching the meeting. I was hearing. It was nice to see everyone participating and sharing the experience, sharing the ideas, and everyone is getting a chance to talk. It was nice to see everyone engaged, everyone connected. It was a nice experience to. This was my first experience of online meeting. Kind of starting was like confusing. I was a little afraid to join also because first experience, so I can't say anything. If something goes wrong, you always have that feeling, fear to start or not to start. That 50-50 kind of chance. But I took the decision and this meeting was great experience for me. Thank you. I would say.
Ritesh, you have no idea. When I first was invited to speak, I could not speak a sentence. So you definitely did well, and do continue with joining Toastmasters. It may be any club. So in my speech, I did say that your growth is a priority. So I would like a member to speak now. She purposely logged out during the table topics. Gurmeet, you're not escaping the president. Can you please give a review of the meeting?
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I did see you escaping the meeting. So I want you.
No, Satar. No, actually, I had some guests at home, so I had to leave.
Okay. I'm not giving up on you, Gurmeet. So be rest assured. So Zoom Master, do we have the results?
Yes.
Okay. Over to you, Zoom Master.
Just give me one moment.
Sure.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So let's start then. Any guesses for the best speaker? All right. No guesses then. Let me reveal it. Oh, yes. Akshay, you're right.
Everybody can unmute and behave like their true self.
Wow.
Yes. Moving on. Best evaluator. Any guesses?
Toastmaster Gajanan.
Okay. That's me. Best major role player. I don't think anybody needs to guess this one.
Stuti.
Oh, yes. And finally, best minor role player. So this one's for Aman.
Thank you.
Yes. Well deserved. All right. That's about it then from my end.
Did we miss the best table topic?
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Best table topic speaker.
Toastmaster Neeru.
Nadia, I guess.
Sorry, we skipped you, Nadia.
But thank you. It's a pleasant surprise.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Yes.
May I know who's the table topic winner?
Nadia D'Souza. She's our guest.
Nadia D'Souza. Oh, okay. I thought Neeru. Okay, congratulations.
So congrats to all the winners. You all did a great job, and it was a fabulous meeting. And I would like to invite all of you in advance for our next meeting. You will get the invite very soon. So good night. Thank you. Be safe.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night.